Hi fellow hackers, my name is Grigory and today I just want to quickly introduce my project Hackable Text Input System Hatis. Here's its GitHub page and I was dreaming about this project for about 2.5 years. Yeah, so it has pretty comprehensive description. You can read about it, and now it's like in super duper pooper early development stage. It's basically like a research stage now. It's not even like pre-alpha. It's not even pre-alpha, but I hope it will be soon. So what is the idea? Idea is I basically hate Emacs. I use it every day for about 5 years, but not because I like it a lot. I just dislike all the other editors even more. And in fact, the concept of text editor it's dead. It shouldn't exist in 2024. And why? Because mobile phones got it right more than 10 years ago. Android and iOS phones can catch the text input context and change the UI dynamically across all the system. They can show you like a virtual keyboard, screen keyboard, and this keyboard they can be like hackable. You can write your own keyboard, for example, and do whatever you want with it. And they also remember like the last input you did, and they show you this DAG. They build a direct acyclic graph and show you suggestions for your input. So yeah, and this is how it should work on the desktops basically. And I'm slowly working on it. So this is like very short introduction. What like exactly how does it work? It leverages Wayland right now, and for people who don't know, I will try to give the very short introduction. So Wayland is like the thing. There is a Wayland and Xorg, and those two are very basic things that know how to draw something on your screen. Like you have a window here, right? You see the Firefox, my browser. So the very definition of this like window, it's inside the Xorg or Wayland. And those Waylands, it's not only manage like just window, but it also have it's a protocol, yeah. So and there are different implementations. For example, I use GNOME and it uses Matter. And there is a cool website Wayland.app that accumulates uh, the protocols of Wayland and like show them in this good form, but you also can look at them, for example, like in a very raw form. It's just an XMLs. Let's take a look. So here is a protocol directory, and here is input metadata unstable v2, which is exactly what we need. Yeah. So here, wait a moment. Here it is. Yeah. So we can just read it in like a good form, or we can read it in pure XML form, and Val roots is some kind of like a framework for Wayland. It has like Sway and other compositors built on this library, on this lib that already includes like a lot. So I write this project in Guile Scheme, which is like a part of the GUIX project. I basically believe that people who are watching this, they're like already into this, but yeah, I have like Russian translation, sorry. Yeah, here is like a short brief introduction to GUIX, and a big shout out to a project called Guile Wayland by a guy with the nickname Z572 who did all the ropers, all the like dirty stuff, FFI with Wayland, and I'm only picking up the like cherries. I don't know. It's really cool and useful. It still needs it still needs work. For example, EGL modules are empty, and it's not like completely full coverage of Wayland from Guile right now, but it's good enough for me to do my like small project. So I guess this is like super duper brief introduction, but what I'm going to show you what is possible. Okay. And this is probably a video for hackers, for people who will try to do something with it. So yeah, here is Hatis. It's Hackable Input System, and let's yeah. At first, well, I'm using GNOME on Wayland, but it required to do like in this input method protocol that I'm going to use. It requires Sway. So I launch this pseudo Sway in my while being in GNOME. And why I do this is because I experiment with some dangerous stuff like keyboard grabbing. And keyboard grabbing is just like grabs your keyboard completely, and you're not, well, it's how it's written in my like current version of the project, and it just dumps the keyboard events. So you won't be able to Ctrl-C, Ctrl-Z the process, you won't be able to quit if you just use pure Sway. And I will fix it, definitely, but like because I experiment with dirty stuff, I'm using this setup right now. So, and it's like running. Now, I launched REPL. REPL.ch is just like a small bash script for this project for development. And here is like a whole code. It's very dirty, and it's like 220 lines, and I think it's super small. And like utils is very small, and keyboard is like 10 lines and 10 lines each. But what it like allow me to do, let me array connect, and let me eval buffer. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. It should be use modular nice 9 binary ports. I just thought that modular is like won't be needed, but it should be there. Yeah, so I just did a little refactoring before the call. So yeah, so I just evaluated all this code, and now I'm evaluating this thread that will be run the main loop. And let's look at the output. Oh, then it's yeah. Sometimes for some reason it there like might be some problems. So let me just restart it real quick. I'm not yet fully like set it up for development because I just needed like few things to discover, to research before the full setup, and now I basically have an idea how it works. I will do this soon, but not for this demonstration. I just evaluated the buffer. Let's see at the very bottom. Oh damn. Okay. Yeah, I had to pause a little just because it didn't start it at the first time. I don't know why. Because it's screencast, you know. It has to be so. So, like I have, anyway, it started now, it runs in another thread, and I have my REPL here, and here's my output.txt file where it writes all the events. So what it does is it catches, it has like grab keyboard ability. So it can like grab keyboard and prevent all the events from happening, and it knows that there is a text input, like in all the Wayland supported apps. It will know that oops, here we are inputting text. Yeah, so let's I can launch well, for example, yeah, I can't do anything now because, well, I do my key presses and it won't react because the keyboard is grabbed. And we can see the this log is activate is when it grabs a new text input. Done is when it's oh no, leave is when it's leaving the text input, and the key presses are here. It catch the key presses, it catch the modifiers, and all of these events, they can be read like here's a grab keyboard, but there is also a Wayland keyboard. Where it is then? Yeah, no, yes, no. Yeah. So here is like all the events described. So and also I can, for example, request the current key map. Let me show you. Switch to REPL. Yeah, connection buffer is not REPL. So I can do ref k map, I guess. I believe it was like this, evaluate region, and it will give me a full like dump in XKB format of my current key map. And this key press, for example, that is written here, this 33, yeah, I guess. This is like it's XKB code -8. If you will add 8 to it, it will be XKB code, and by default it's yevdev Linux code. So anyway, and here's like a small trick I'm going to show you. Well, I hope it will work, because this is like the whole point of it, of this project, this trick. Yeah, let me just uncomment this once, and let's try to do this. Eval region, unspecified. Yeah, and here it inserted lorem ipsum. So I can commit like text to text fields. And these are the basic building blocks to build a good input system. And those systems, they already like almost exist. For example, there was XIM and some other stuff that allows to like enter Chinese and Japanese characters. It's like almost the same idea, except it only like for different like hard characters to input. Yeah. No, but it was so close to being like good, like useful for people, you know, good to use and handy. So next you can like here is my readme list, and here is like readme of what's how, at least how I see it. You can fork it, you can do whatever you want. I just don't want like 10,000 of different text inputs systems to like exist and like Emacs having 10,000, no, not having namespaces and having like few modules for few stuffs. I don't want this. I just want some like collaboration and standardization at its finest. So here is like the core idea written that I just described, and yeah, next thing is to provide this text input. It should know the current PID, current title, current size of the window, and of course it's like it's not bound to the file system right now, because I'm not even editing any file. Next, like I should provide some file system context, window manager context, and some other context should be providable. It should be like maybe macros of defined context or something. And here is like some this like personal note. Maybe if somebody will collaborate with me, we can like discuss it. Some requirements and definitions for alpha, pre-alpha, alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1 and beta 2 versions, and here's a dev set I've just described like what I've done, And here is like some notes and some dumps of this research I'm like doing currently, and of course it should also give more control for the, for example, clipboard, this one, right? And touch events and pointer events, they all should be like in there. I think so. Like it should have an access for it. Yeah. So that's basically it. Uh, um, I don't also have like a proper stop and restart ability for this like piece of code. I don't understand why. For some reason it gives unavailable at the very first time I launch Sway. This has to be fixed, but anyway, that's what I wanted to show and tell, and that's what I'm working on. Would be nice to hear from you guys if somebody wants to help and join.